Cheyanne here. You know, Auschwitz wasn't a country or a city. For many of its survivors, it was known as hell on earth. Auschwitz first started off as a Polish barracks, but then later was abandoned. After it was abandoned, Nazis took it over and turned it into a concentration camp. Even though it was a death camp, Auschwitz never started that way. In fact, it started as a work camp. Auschwitz wasn't just one place, but in fact it was three. Auschwitz I, Auschwitz II, and Auschwitz III. Later, in 1943, Auschwitz III would become its own independent camp, while Auschwitz II would merge with Auschwitz I. But all three had two things in common. They were all guarded by SS troops and in some cases SS guard dogs. They also were located 37 miles outside of Krakow, Poland. Between the 10th and 11th block at Auschwitz camp, there's a stone wall that originally had logs in front of it painted black. This was used as an execution site in which 3 victims would line up next to the wall. 1 SS guard would shoot them, and 2 other victims would carry the dead bodies. After that, 3 more victims would line up and the cycle would start all over again. There's a picture drawn by one of the survivors that depicts what would happen if you were looking at it through their eyes. Many people today visit this site and leave offerings for the dead, including candles, flowers, as well as stones. Auschwitz had the largest prisoner population out of all the camps. It was also the place where gas chambers were first experimented on. In late April and early July, almost 500,000 Hungarian Jews were sent to Auschwitz, and almost 400,000 were sent to death right away. In total, over 100 million were killed. When the camp ended in 1945, only 7,000 of the victims were set free. There were horrible experiments that happened at Auschwitz camp. Dr. Mengele would take identical twins off of trains and do horrible experiments to them, including sticking needles into their eye while they were fully awake just to try to change their eye color. He would put scratches on both the twins and rub them in sawdust and glass. He would also, in one particular case, he stuck a needle full of poison into both of their hearts and dug around in their organs. In some cases, he would take full-grown adults and put them in tubs of ice-cold water and see how long it took for them to die. He would use this for soldiers to see how long they would survive in these kind of conditions. But they were horrible and torturous experiments, many of which I did not have. Although it is widely accepted that 3 million people died while in Auschwitz, and although we did not add all the horrors that happened there, we hope you remember that Auschwitz should never happen again. Because if we're in Auschwitz right now, by the end of this video, several people in our class would be dead.